Well, I just mentioned the putting cats with the internet. I think I could do a great deal with that, yes. There's a lot of strange hobbies you people get up to. I mentioned My Little Ponies. But the fact is, many of my hobbies that I loved are still around, and they are exploded. The way astronomy has changed over the years is remarkable. I was living during a great time of astronomical change. The way we were discovering the universe and the cosmos was dizzying. I mean, we found planet Pluto. And then you people took that away from us. But what I love is how astronomy seems to finally beginning to win the war against that scurrilous pseudoscience of astrology. Astronomy, you see, is about truth. It is about object reason. Astrology looks at the whole cosmos and says, all of this must be about me. Whereas astronomy looks at it and says, no. We think that the sun revolves around the earth, and astronomy tells us no. We think that all planets must resemble our own and be just waiting for us to come and colonize, and astronomy tells us no. We say that space is one giant adventure where we can boldly go in curiously primary-colored uniforms. And astronomy tells us no. You can tell a great deal about a civilization by how they approach the stars. Do they cower in fear at the gods they have crafted? Do they ignore them altogether and just continue with their terrestrial scrubbing? Or do they try to measure them, and in so doing, gain an understanding not only of the cosmos, but of themselves? I mentioned the planet Pluto. Well, those of us of a creative bent were so inspired that we wrote stories about it, and I wrote indeed a few poems you may have heard of called The Fungi from Yuggoth. With your forbearance, I'm going to read one of those today. This one is titled simply, and perhaps aptly, The Courtyard. It was the city I had known before, the ancient leprous town where mongrel throngs chant to strange gods and beat unhallowed gongs in crypts beneath foul alleys near the shore. The rotting, fish-eyed houses leered at me from where they leaned drunk and half-animate as edging through the filth I passed the gate to the black courtyard where the man would be. The dark walls closed in, and loud I cursed that ever I had come to such a din, when suddenly a score of windows burst into wild light and swarmed with dancing men. Mad, soundless revels of the dragon dead. And not a corpse had either hands nor head.